Hello, everybody. Many thanks for joining us today for today's webinar. We'll just wait another couple more minutes just so people can join. So just bear with us, and people will be joining. So for the 13 or so that have arrived so far, really appreciated. A couple minutes for people to join. Many thanks. And I'll turn my video off. Okay, so but don't worry, I'll still be here. Hello, Cynthia. Many thanks for joining us today. Can you hear me?
Hi, can you hear me?
I can indeed. So many thanks for joining. Yeah, welcome. We'll just wait for a couple more minutes so that people join. So hello, Edward. Lovely to meet with you again.
Yeah.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon. Right. Hope you are well.
Yes.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Cynthia.
Hi. Hey.
Hey, hello,
I'm
Phillip.
well.
Good morning, good afternoon to you, wherever you are.
Hi there.
Thank you for joining us today on this sort of wonderful session with some great panelists, some great information and insights that we're going to get today on the Ghana luxury property market. We have with us today some great speakers, as Phillip Jarman, who's the co-founder of Seso, is joining us here today. We also have with us as well Cynthia Kamina, as well, who leads the sales and marketing department for Capemay Properties. And we have as well with us Mr. Edward Nyako, who's the head of business development and the strategic initiative home loans at First National Bank. Again, we're very grateful to everybody here who's joining us here today. I'll be the master of ceremonies for you today. My name is Kweku Essien. I'm the VP of Partnerships for Seso Global. Phillip will delve into a little bit of what Seso does shortly enough, but I serve as VP of Partnerships, and Seso really, at the end of the day, we're seeking to be a transparent and trusted ecosystem for property and property-related transactions. If you don't mind, really the event will flow through 5 to 10 minute presentations from each of our panelists. And then as well, we would love to open up the session to questions from the audience, any pertinent questions you may have about either sort of finance and property or the details on, especially on Capemay, the signature property that she's going to showcase as well here, or as well maybe a general sense of the luxury property market. We're happy to answer your questions. So I'm just going to start by introducing each panelist and just sort of sharing their bios with you all, just so you understand the strength of the panel we have today. So I'm going to start ladies first. I'm going to introduce Cynthia to the audience. So Cynthia is one of Ghana's top business leaders in real estate marketing. She's known for her extensive market knowledge, unmatched consistency in diligent operations, and excellent customer service. She brings over 9 years experience in real estate and a commitment to hard work into nurturing and leading high-performing teams to build world-class luxury real estate brands. She holds an executive MBA in marketing from the University of Ghana and a bachelor's degree in political science from the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. She's currently the sales and marketing director at Capemay Properties, the developers of the signature apartment, and we'll delve into that property. Prior to that, she held key managerial roles in sales and marketing at Clifton Homes and Gold Key Properties. Her portfolio of properties includes, but not limited to, Clinton Homes, Addy Valley, Kai Valley, Clinton Place, The Gallery, Embassy Gardens, Gold Key Properties as well, Cantonment City, Meadowview, and Laurels. And so she has an extensive experience and understanding of the luxury market. These are some of the more high-profile properties in Ghana. Cynthia is a firm believer in giving back to the community, and she supports numerous charities, including the NICU Foundation. We're very glad to have you, Cynthia. Thank you for joining us.
Actually, yeah.
And then I'll move on to Mr. Edward Nyako as well. We're happy to have you. As I stated, Edward Nyako is the business development head for the strategic initiative home loans at First National Bank, Ghana Limited. Edward holds an executive master in business administration from the University of Ghana Business, postgraduate diploma in real estate, construction, and affordable housing from the Institute of Housing Studies, Rotterdam, and a BSc Building Technology from the Kwame Nkrumah Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors and Ghana Institute of Surveyors. Prior to joining Ghana Home Loans, now First National Bank, he worked with ACP Estates, Pokuase, G. Ampofo and Partners, HFC Investment Services Limited, HFC Realty Limited, and UT Properties Limited, as well as Rehoboth Properties Limited. Edward has over 25 years experience in real estate, quantity surveying, and project management. He has played a key role in setting up profitable property development and project management and facilities management companies. Edward, we're very glad to have you as well with us today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers. And then as well, I introduce from my own team, Phillip Jarman as well. And Phillip from here will present to you a lot more about Seso right after this session as well, to give you an understanding of the offer we provide to those locally, but as well in the diaspora. And Phillip, as Phillip mentioned, he's based in our London office. So Phillip Jarman is the co-founder and COO of Seso Global. Before co-founding Seso Global, Phillip spent 7 years working in finance for UBS Wealth Management, where he helped generate bespoke investment strategies for ultra-high net worth African-based clients. The experience helped him develop an extensive business network across the African continent. He also learned many of the banking processes and checks that are used to manage KYC and due diligence risk that Seso successfully used today. He co-founded Seso Global with his business partner, Daniel Block, in August 2017 after completing his MBA from Imperial College Business School. Again, thank you, Phillip, as well, for joining us as well. And just so that in the interest of time, I'll give you the floor, please. And if you don't mind going through Seso Global as well.
Yes, of course, Kweku. So Kweku, many thanks for the introduction. And it's an absolute joy to be with Cynthia and Edward today. As Kweku mentioned, my name is Phillip Jarman. I'm co-founder and COO of Seso. Founded it with my business partner, Daniel Block, on August 2017. What I'm now going to do is I will share my screen and very quickly take everybody through what we do. So let me just very quickly share my screen and bring up the presentation here, so we can sort of quickly run through what it is that that we do. So what do we do at Seso? So what do we do? I'll take us through the customer journey and essentially, why we're here. What's the purpose that we're serving? So it's very simple. What it is that we do. We're a digital real estate broker. So we sell properties and property-related services. So on our marketplace, you can come onto the marketplace and you can buy properties that we sell on behalf of property developers. But you can also access the other services you need to buy a property. So, for example, instruct law firms. You can acquire insurance. You can acquire banking. You can acquire finance. So what we've essentially created is a one-stop shop for property transactions to a unique ecosystem of services. At Seso, we believe that by having a single technology platform that connects buyers with trusted properties and professional service providers, those same buyers will have the required trust they need to buy that property with trust and support. And this is really the problem that we want to solve. We know that buying properties in certain parts of emerging markets has a risk. We want to be able to solve that, and we believe we can do it digitally. So that's what we do. So we're a digital real estate broker. You can buy properties and access to property-related services such as lawyers, banks, insurance, etc. Let me very quickly take you on the customer journey so you can get a bit of an idea as to the look and feel of Seso. This is our marketplace. It's very simple. Buyers can come onto the Seso marketplace and put in their desired locations and suburbs. So as you can see, we've put in the city of Accra, and the subcategory is in cantonments, as you can see that, and then you can search. So a search result may bring up properties such as this, for example. And I'm delighted that Capemay have joined us today, so we can more about their wonderful properties and the opportunities within the luxury property market space within Ghana. So this may come up, a search for particular properties based upon your particular data points, what you're looking for. If we drill into the Capemay property, you can see wonderful pictures, obviously the map, the price, etc. Information you can expect to see. But we have added obviously additional features. So you can request a service from one of our professional service providers, lawyers, surveyors, banks, as mentioned earlier. You can request a mortgage, and that goes straight through to one of our partner banks. And we're delighted to have Edwards here today, so we can find out a little bit more about the mortgage offerings and what is available. You can schedule a tour. One of Seso's representatives will then get back in contact with you, and we manage the end-to-end process. So it's the digital bit at this stage, but then we manage the physical tour and the negotiations at the other stage. And if you simply want to find drop us more about Seso, drop us an email, and we can tell you more about the property. Lastly, I just wanted to show you this in terms of the functionality. We do offer a personal account page where you as users can keep track on all of your activity, your transactions, for example, your tour requests, your mortgage requests, etc. You don't have to use this, you don't have to register, but you can if you want to, keep track on your activity. So as I say, we've created this one-stop shop where you can, manage your transactions, manage your views, etc. So why are we here? We strongly believe that if we solve the issue of trust, we can unleash spending power, not just diaspora, but also within the local market. But we do appreciate that there is there can be sometimes a bit of a trust deficit when buying property. We have heard stories of individuals transferring money to other individuals with the intention to purchase a property, but it not being used for that. So we really feel that there are digital solutions. Our digital solution can go some way to alleviate this, and that's essentially what we want to do. We want to solve the issue of trust so we can unleash spending power by members of the diaspora and local market. So as I mentioned earlier on, we believe that by having this single technology platform that connects trusted sellers and trusted properties with buyers who can access professional service providers, those buyers will have the necessary support they need to proceed with buying that dream home with trust. It's really important to Seso. This is the team. Delighted to introduce you to the team. Daniel Block, CEO and co-founder. He's a technology entrepreneur, been building technology solutions with a passion for emerging markets for the last 10 years. My background is financial services. I've worked for a big bank called UBS, managing money for ultra high net worth African-based individuals. Eugene Badzengoli, he's head of our engineering team, based in Ghana. We have a passion for Ghana. And finally, Kweku. You've met Kweku Essien. He's VP for partnerships. Totally chuffed that Kweku's working for us, and we're absolutely delighted that he's leading this webinar today. Kweku, before I sign off, I would just like to leave everybody with my details. If you are in the UK and you want to meet with me, please feel free to get in. I am based in Cambridge. If you wanted to, for example, talk about a Capemay property, we can meet in Cambridge or we can meet in London, and we can do that. So many thanks for listening to me. Really looking forward to listening to Cynthia and Edward. So Kweku, I'll stop sharing my screen, and I will pass back to you.
Thank you very much for that, and I hope everybody can see my screen as well. Yeah. We'd like to move straight to this next portion of events, and thank you for that, Phillip. Again, I think it gives some folks, especially those in the diaspora, to at least an entity that can assist them through this journey, right? But we want to get into Capemay as well now. I have a video here. I hope you can all see it. Which basically showcase sort of a 360 virtual reality video of the signature property, which is based in East Legon in Accra, Ghana. And so please enjoy.
This is what they are using. I can't find. I've put my camera on. You find where to go to. Here and there, I put my. If you go to the teaching,
great. That is certainly one of the landmark properties right now in Ghana, especially when it's completed. And we're really excited to partner with Capemay on sort of sharing this property with the world. I hope you can see my screen as well now, Cynthia.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can.
Okay, great. Can you still see it?
Yeah. Are you able to enlarge it a bit?
Yes, I have. I've done that now.
Okay, great.
Okay, great. So I will now leave the floor to the very capable Cynthia, who will give us about a 10-minute presentation on the company Capemay and on what they're doing as well in Ghana with the signature and other properties out there in Ghana. So please, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Kweku. I'm not sure how I'm going to do this in 10 minutes, but I'll try as much as possible to Okay, so before I get to the signature, I want to talk about Capemay Properties because people want to know who is behind the development. So Capemay Properties is a Ghanaian-owned company and it's a subsidiary of the Capemay Group of Companies. It was established in 2008, and before the signature, we had done previous developments. We'd done commercial buildings and we had done a bit of residential as well. Are you able to go down?
Sure.
So this is a commercial building that we've done. We actually have 2 of these. We have one on the Princess Road and then one in Tema as well.
5 to 10 minutes, I'll be doing my presentation.
These commercial buildings have international, multinational companies as tenants, which shows that we are able to manage our tenants very well. So this also a picture of residential places that we had on the Spencer Road. They are townhouses. And these are development that we had done earlier. Please move. So this is called Seso Global. It's on the Spencer Road. So our major development that we're doing now is the signature. But the signature, we're working with 3 main concepts here. We're talking about location, we're providing luxury, and then we're providing leisure. These things are very important, especially when it comes to buying a property for investment. And we took all of these into consideration in coming up with a great architectural building in a good location, giving it all the amenities that you need to give you the luxury and the leisure that you need. Please go on. So even with the signature, we have the idea of coming up with a communal area, a communal living, giving you a family life that even though it will be very private for you, you still tend to live in a community. So we have that in providing the amenities and the other things we came up with. So on the location, as I spoke earlier with the 3 main concepts, the signature is located at one of the prime locations in Ghana. I would say is the center of Accra at the moment. It's located at Tetekwashi, opposite the Accra Mall, and it's 7 minutes drive from the international airport, and it's 7 minutes from the business hub, which makes it very, very important when you are looking at buying a property for investment, because you want to buy something that is very close to good schools, that is close to hospitals, that you can get to the airport if you come into Ghana for business, and then you can get into the business hub immediately. And also with location and with property investment, you realize that location is very important because people tend to buy based on location. People that are coming to Ghana, people that are coming for businesses want to stay at places that is very close to where they are going to have their businesses or have their transactions done. Could you please go there? So this picture here, please go up. This picture here shows the Tetekwashi roundabout. Kweku, please go back.
Oh, sorry.
So you have the Accra Mall indicated there, then we have the Kotoka International Airport, and then the signature is also indicated here. And then we have the Tetekwashi roundabout here. Please go down. Okay, so as I mentioned, we have the signature centrally located at all these places. So when you come into Ghana or you're hoping to move back to Ghana and you are worried about school, about security, about road and all of that, the signature is located at a very strategic position that will give you all these things and you wouldn't have to struggle trying to settle into Ghana. Quick, are you able to go down? Yeah. So this is another picture of it showing. So we started construction last year, 2019, and we're going to complete in 2021. So it's taking 2 years. So if you check, in less than 2 years, the property has really gone up this way. And this is a current picture of Tetekwashi. We say that with a signature, we are changing the skyline of Accra. And when you cannot drive past this permanent area without noticing the signature. Please go, Kweku.
Yes.
Okay. So I spoke about location, and I'm on leisure now. So with leisure, it comes more with the amenities that we are given. The amenities that we are given tend to have a communal feel when you are here. So when you come, we have a courtyard which has a ground level pool, and then it's actually a 2-tower. We have 2 commercial areas, which is mezzanine, which has all our amenities, which I will speak about as we move on. We tend to provide all these things. And I always tell people that I speak to that we try not to just sell to people, but we try to get into the head of the end consumer, the person that will be using the property. What are they looking at? Because if you want to buy something, you need to look at the product. what products would the tenants need? If you are using it as an investment, you are probably hoping at renting it out. So what would the tenants look out for before they rent the place? They want a place that they can have all the amenities, that they wouldn't have to drive out. They can get to the grocery shop, they can get to the pharmacy, they'll have a restaurant, they can have a place for their children to play. And that is what we are providing here. So they tend to have more of security, and then they also have their private life as well as being part of a community there. Please move. Okay. So this is the communal. We have communal areas down, and then we have a rooftop pool up there that people could have parties, have their barbecues. People can also play with their kids and encourage the family living and the communal living. Please move. Okay, please move. Okay, so these are the amenities that we are.
Hello?
Kweku, I think the Cynthia's picture has frozen a little.
Okay, I think she dropped off. Unfortunately. Okay. No worries. We'll wait for her to come back. But as you can see, really, I think she's joining us back. Hello, Cynthia. Is that you?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. I think you dropped off. I will share the screen again.
That's fine. Sorry.
No worries. I hope you.
I was talking about the shuttle services that we provide, which is one very important feature here because of the studios and people coming in for businesses. So when you are in, you come, we pick you up, and then when you are going back to, we drop you off, which is also very important. And then with the luxury, the amenities there is providing you with a spa. We have a rooftop pool and bar that gives you a 360 view of Accra. Very amazing view. Kweku, you have been there. We went up and you saw, yes, and it's amazing. And the whole idea is to create a work-life balance for people. Even though you go to work, you are tired, and you get into the apartment, you should be able to enjoy all these services. We have the spa, please move. We have a spa, we have a nail studio, we have bowling alley. Kweku, you could go down.
Oh, sorry.
I want them to see. We have the bowling alley. We have a private movie theater that you could book it. We have the rooftop pool and bar, which I mentioned earlier. We have a karaoke studio. We have children playground. We realize children playground is very important because most people come in here tend to be expats, or staying in these properties tend to be expats, and or people that have kids and they want a place that their children be secured, a place that their children can play. And most of their apartments around do not provide this. So we have provided an outdoor playground and an indoor playground for kids. We also have a pharmacy there as well, and then the grocery store, as I mentioned earlier. Please go. We have a meeting room, which is like, we thought about it before we even got to COVID, because most people are working from home, and we have already done this. So if you're living at the Signature and you want a quiet place to sit and work or have your meetings, you could book a meeting room. We have 2 of that, and then a library as well. So even though we're providing a place for the kids to play and all of that, providing a place for them to go and study. And then for the adults as well, you could have your private meetings or work from home from those sections. And then our gym, we have a sauna in our gym as well. And then there's the rooftop pool that I mentioned. With our restaurants, Kweku, you have been there, so I keep coming back to you. It's a two-level floor, a maisonette. So you have our cafe downstairs, and then when you move up, you have the restaurants. And as you sit at the restaurants, you have a beautiful view of Accra. It's so beautiful when you are up there. Please move. Okay, so I mentioned these amenities earlier. And I want to talk a bit more on the amenities. Buying a property for investment, it's very important to look at the amenities that is being provided there. Because as I said earlier, you want to get into the head of the tenant. What does the tenant want? There are other properties on the market. The tenant would want to have a property or stay at a place that they will have all of this. They're going to have a ballet and yoga studio. They have the bowling alley, the movie theater. We have underground parking, which is also very secured. We have a karaoke, the restaurants, and all of that. We have a bike rack as well. So when you provide all of this, it tends to give that property an upper hand when it comes to getting your return. When the amenities or the location, the product is very good, it tends to increase your rental yield. This is because the frequency of rent is very high. And if the frequency is high, your yield goes up and your payback period becomes very short. So I always tell people that are trying to buy properties, or people come up and say, okay, there are lots on the market and I'm not renting. I'm like, what product are you buying? You need to buy a good product. And if it's a good product, it should have a good location. The amenities have to be good. The design has to be good. The fittings has to be good, so that the tenant would want to choose your product over the other person. And then if you have it, then you can be very competitive, and then you get a shorter payback period. Your payback period is very important when you are looking at investment properties. Please, let's move. So we have studios, we have 1 bed, we have 2 beds, we have 3 beds. Please, you can move. So our studios come like a hotel room with a kitchenette in there. It comes with fitted kitchen and bathroom. We provide air conditioning in all our rooms. And these are images of it. And then the construction is being done by Micheletti, which is a renowned company in Ghana. And then we are using Bosch appliances in there. So the appliances you put in you buy, if you buy in a property, the amenities, the type of fittings in there is very important, because it is a long-term investment. You do not want to buy something that is not going to last. You want to buy something that is very good and will last for a longer time for you. And that is what we provide in at the Signature. I know most people please go back, most people that buy these properties is mainly for investment, or people in the diaspora buying as a home when they come to Ghana, as a vacation home when they are in Ghana, and then if they are not around, we rent it out for them. So with our studios, for studios, you could run it more on the Airbnb style. So you could be doing per night. You could be doing between $100 to $150 a night. But these prices that I have put here are very conservative. The prices would go higher than that because of the amenities that we are given, and the location, the view. And I'm always confident to say that nobody is giving all these amenities on the market as of yet. And so all these amenities, if you're an investor and you buy, you would rent higher than this. So for a studio, conservatively, you'd be renting about $1,000 a month, because if it is per night, your rates could go up. But if it is for a longer period, then you tend to reduce your rates. For a 1 bed, 1 beds are also good, because you could also run it for a short period for the Airbnb and also do a longer let. So as I said, for expats coming in, when you have just 1 person, they would go for a 1 bed and stay in for a longer period than to stay in a studio. Then we have our 2 beds that you have sometimes executives coming in and sharing. You tend to have corporate institutions picking that. So with a 2 bed for unfurnished, you could be renting between $2,500 to $3,000 a month, or even go a bit more than that. Okay, so with the yield, I know this is quite important to people that are looking at investment and buying property. Why should I buy and not put my money at the bank or use it for something else? So I always come up with the yield. So if you buy a studio, let's say you buy a studio averagely $85,000, and these my monthly rents are still very conservative. You're renting it at $1,000 annually, you're making about $12,000 a month, and so you are at a yield of 14.11%, which is quite good. And your payback period is 7.8, which is very good. So that's when I talk about the amenities. I still go back to the amenities. You would have someone promise you a yield like this, but you ask yourself, are there enough amenities there? Is the location good? Is the product good? That will cause people to rent the place quicker. because the more they rent it, the shorter the payback period it is for you. It's the same with the one bed that I have done here. If you buy one bed around $160,000, you'll be renting conservatively $1,500, and you seeing an annual rent of $18,000, and be making a yield of 11.25, which is also good here. And then we have our 2 beds and then our 3 beds. If you look at this, you realize that your 1 beds tend to rent very well. Your 1 bed tends to give you a very good yield, but studios are also very good because when you are renting it per night, you could be making about $3,000 a month. If you're doing $100 a night, you could make about $3,000. So even with that, and we have 7 years here, you could be doing like 3.5 years and would have made your money back with it. Kweku, please, let's go. For 3 beds, people tend to buy 3 beds more as a live-in than as investment. They want to stay in.
Do you mind wrapping up in 2 minutes? My apologies.
That's fine. So with our payback for the payment terms, when you buy, because we're selling off plan, we give you a time frame to pay off. People that bought earlier had more time to pay, but since we are nearing completion is by second quarter next year. You pay $3,000 to reserve, and then in 21 days you pay your 20%, or we are happy to listen to your payment terms and we'll spread it for you, and then upon completion you get your keys and then you can move in.
Okay, great. Fantastic.
I'm not going to talk about the mortgage because we have a mortgage person here who will be talking more on the mortgage, but we also have mortgage options that you could use as well.
Great. No, thank you for that. That was very thorough. I think a lot of the information was very useful for the signature, but even just thinking about the luxury market in Ghana, I think that's very useful for a lot of people as well. And so please prepare your questions for Cynthia as well. Please send them to the chat or send it to one of our team if you're watching this on sort of social media, Facebook or YouTube. And we're happy to answer that question. But again, thank you, Cynthia, for that thorough presentation. I would like to then jump quickly into our presentation with FNB as well. Edward, I'll prepare your deck right now for you. Give me a second. Great. I hope you can see the deck, Edward.
Yes, I can. Thank you.
Okay, great. So please, the floor is yours.
Okay. Thank you for this opportunity to present FNB on this webinar. And I believe it's a good opportunity for us because following Cynthia's presentation, and by the end of my presentation, you realize that you have a very good opportunity of owning one of these properties through mortgage. And so we can go to the next slide. Yes, so who are we? First National Bank Ghana is a subsidiary of the First Rand Group of South Africa, one of the biggest financial institutions in Africa. And as most of you are aware, there was an acquisition and a merger with GHL Bank, who was the leader in mortgage business. So now First National Bank now has positioned itself to do a bit more on the home loan space. So what do we actually offer? So for people who want to buy their first homes, people who want to build, who want to either take some cash out of their properties, those are the things we do in the home loan space. And for the presentation that we just saw, where you have a property that you can either buy to rent or buy to own, the people to speak to are obviously us, so that you can get the monies that you need to be able to acquire one as quickly as possible before the end of the second quarter. I think we can move on. Yes. So most often people will ask the question, what is a home loan? So basically, a home loan is a loan that you take to acquire a property, where the property is used as a collateral. You are expected to make monthly payments for such a loan. And the payments usually has two components. It has a principal and an interest. We most often and usually give a tenor of 20 years, but it also depends on how many years you are. Once you are under 40 years, then we are certain to be able to do 20 years, except for some special cases. If you are more than 40, then we should also be able to look at you on case-by-case basis, able to do more than 20 years. Next slide, please. Yes, so why should you choose First National Bank? You have to choose First National Bank because we have a very quick turnaround time. We've been in this business for long. We do understand all the dynamics so far as home loans are concerned. So we have experienced home loan advisors who will advise you through the entire process to make the right decision as you embark on the home acquisition. In the presentation by Phillip, he mentioned about how Seso ensures that they provide trust in terms of the properties that you acquire from them. It's very key when it comes to providing home loans. We undertake what a pre-purchase due diligence, because the property that you are buying is what we use collateral. So it's important that we've done proper due diligence for you to be able to own this property, and then it's possible to register the collateral. So as being offered by Seso, once you get a property from them, then you stand in a good position to be able to acquire a home loan much more easily. What we do is that once you get onto us, we assign you a relationship person who takes you through a step-by-step process. Now, in terms of our products, we have the home purchase, usually for first-time buyers, or you are buying a property that you want to actually acquire. Then we have the homeowner loans. The homeowner loans, that's an equity release, which in this case, you would either get some cash out of your property, or you want some money to improve your existing property, changing it from a brown property to, say, a green property, which has become the norm these days. And then we have the home construction, where you build your own house if you have land, or if you are built up to a certain stage and you want to go. You can also switch if you are not comfortable with your current provider. We offer that as well. We offer land purchase and safe to own. I'll touch about safe to own whilst we go on. Can we go to the next slide, please? Now, our key products, we have loan amounts up to $400,000, and from the prices shared by Cynthia, it's obvious that we are better placed to be able to provide you loans for this scheme. We'll give you up to 20 years to repay. In terms of base rate, our USD, we do 12.75 fixed, and then we do 12.5 variable. For Ghana cedis, we'll do GRR plus 9. And our minimum deposit is 30%. But you are at liberty to be able to also add on so that you reduce your loan amount. Next slide. Now, our typical application process is that you will complete our application form. And then once you complete the application form should come with an offer letter from signature. And then within 72 hours, we will issue you a letter of intent. Now, once you proceed to sign the letter of intent and return to us, we will process your application and give you what we call a facility letter. It spells out the conditions under which we will disburse, and also includes the closing costs. Once you fulfilled all the pre-disbursement conditions, including insurance, then we are in a position to be able to disburse. So typically for a project like Signature, we expect that you apply now, so that by the time the project is completed, we are good for us to be able to disburse for you to take ownership of your property. Next slide, please. Now, so key documents that we require in your application process is your proof of identity, which is very key, passport pictures, proof of address, proof of income, because we need to be sure that you have enough income to be able to support the loan, bank statements, and then we also do a credit check to see how you've done in terms of your credit history. It's very key that we engage with people who have very good credit records. And like I mentioned, an offer letter from the developer. We can go on. Now, in terms of transaction cost, in this case, let me just focus because of time. Let me just focus on the dollar because most of the prices were quoted in dollar. You have to pay an application fee, which is 1.25% of the loan amount. Our minimum fee is $500. And then you also pay what we call the registration deposits. And the registration deposit will be used to register this property in your name once you take a mortgage loan. And normally the deposit is 1.85 of the property value. So we can go to the next one. Now, some case studies using the prices shared by Cynthia. So if you had the studio at 80,000, we expected you to actually do a deposit of 30%. So, which means that you would have paid $24,000. We do a loan of about $56,000. And your monthly repayment is about $640. And based on her presentation, once you buy a studio, you can rent it out for $1,000, which means that once you make up your 30% deposit, you are good enough to be able to buy this property and be able to be part of the homeowners within the development. If you took the 2-bed at almost 230,000, and you do a deposit of 30%, we do a loan of 160,000, monthly repayment of 1,825. So with a rental income of 2,500, you are so good to be able to own this property. So basically all you need to be able to acquire property from Signature will be your initial deposit of 30%, and then your rental incomes will be good enough for you to do your repayments going forward. Next slide. Yeah, so I mentioned about Save to Own, and Save to Own is purposely for self-employed. We realize that for most self-employed clients, they have difficulty proving a consistent income. So what we do with self-employed clients is that depending on the property you want to buy, we look at what your repayment is going to be, and we give you between 12 to 24 months to prove that you can make those payments on a monthly basis. This then offers us the opportunity to be able to do a loan for you in this case. But based on our presentation today on Signature, once you demonstrate that you can do the 30% and the property rents can cover your repayment, I think it's a good solution for us to be able to offer anybody who is interested in acquiring a property from Signature. So that is that. I've talked about Save to Own and the fact that you demonstrate within 12 to 24 months. These are our contact details. You can reach us on any of these lines and email, and we will be happy to reach out to you to assist you in acquiring a home with signature projects.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was, again, very thorough, very educational, even for me, and I'm sure for a lot of people as well in sort of listening to us today. And definitely, yes, the slides we made available to the audience as well from here. And again, all of us are all available to you for any questions as well. I want to sort of get into the questions as well. Although I noted that the event is 60 minutes, I think some of our panelists can stay a little longer if there is that high engagement as well. But we do have one question from our audience, Emeka Emmanuel, and I'll direct it to the panel. But he says, I stay in Nigeria, but would like to venture into real estate acquisition in Ghana. And he's just asking, what do I need to do? And so I'll leave it to the panel. Maybe Cynthia, you want to jump in now, or as well. Maybe Edward can also speak to it as well on the financing angle. Please.
Okay, so Emeka, hi, hope you're well. So if you're looking at investing, we have a website. You visit www.signaturegA.com. We send you a brochure. You have a look at it. We'll talk to you based on your budget, if we think, and then based on the budget, we'll advise you on the type of unit you should buy, depending on what you want to use it for. If it's for investment, if it's a vacation home, I'm not sure what you want to use it for, we'll advise you, and then we'll help you choose based on your budget that you're working with. And if you want to buy it or pay personally, we'll have the payment term. You pay $3,000, and then we'll spread the rest until completion. When the property is ready, you come in, have a view of it. We do all the snagging that you might see. And if there is nothing to rectify, you sign off and then you get your keys. If you want to do mortgage, what happens is you pay $3,000 to reserve, and then you pay 20 or 30 or 40%, depending on how much you might qualify from the mortgage. And then we'll put you in contact with Edward, and then he would assess you to see how much you qualify for. And then when the building is ready, he will disburse the money for you. I mean, to us, the money comes to us, and then we'll rent it out for you. If it's for investment, as he said, then you'll be using the rental money to pay off your mortgage, which is, I want to say this is very important for wealth acquisition when it comes to real estate. It's called leveraging. A lot of people use leveraging to make a lot of money. You do not have to have all the money, the 100% ready, but you can have a percentage, 20, 30%, still be a homeowner, get your tenants to be paying for the mortgage for you. And then after the number of years that you have to pay for the mortgage, the property is still yours. And you can use that as a collateral to get another property. So it's also a very smart way of acquiring properties.
Great. Edward, add. Sorry.
Can I also add that if you did want to look at properties both in Ghana as well as Nigeria, please visit Seso Global, and we can obviously talk you through and support you through that process. We sell properties on behalf of property developers. Obviously, we're really chuffed to have Capemay join us today, but we've obviously got a full array of properties within those territories, within Accra and obviously in Lagos as well, if that takes your fancy.
Okay, no, thank you. Yeah, that's an important thing to note, that we do operate in these markets and can be your bridge as well between us and the property developer and also the banks. But Edward, I don't know if you have anything to add to that specific, especially with Nigerian clients.
Yeah, maybe so just to add, I think maybe he also wanted to know whether he could be able to access a mortgage to buy this property, even though he's Nigerian. And the question is yes. He just needs to demonstrate the fact that he has the income to be able to support a loan from us, and he should be able to buy a property using the mortgage.
Got it. And Edward, maybe I'll just even follow up with that in maybe the broader context of the diaspora as well, as we'll probably have some folks here from the UK or from the States. They may want to understand as foreigners or as maybe Ghanaian diaspora, sometimes these are different groups, whether or not they have access to some of this financing, or what are the conditions as well that allow them potentially to get finance?
Yeah, so as I indicated in my presentation, what is very key is your ability to be able to service. So the proof of income is very important. If either you are in Ghana or you are a non-resident, your proof of income is very important. Your credit history is also very important. These are very key information that helps us to make a decision. You don't need to be resident in Ghana to be able to purchase these properties. For us, what is important to us is that the property you are buying is here in Ghana. So once the property is here in Ghana and you can prove that you have the income to be able to support the loan and your history is good, we should be able to assist you with a mortgage to buy the property.
Good to know. Great to know. I want to jump in with you, Cynthia, actually, on a question around management support. So a lot of these individuals who perhaps are just looking to invest, especially as well, they will want to understand your capabilities with respect to management. So could you please just give us, a brief overview of that as well?
Okay, so we'll be doing two things, actually three, for people that buy for investment. We'll find you tenants, and then that's us just finding you tenants, do all the adverts that there is, just as we're doing for selling. We have a rental team in-house that will do all the adverts and help you find tenants. We'll find tenants for you, do all the legal processes involved, and find you tenants. And then we have the property management as well. Let's say if it's a studio or it's a one bed and you're doing short lets and you're not in the country, so we need to change the sheets for you. We need to clean the place. If someone goes out, we need to go and do check if everything is intact before they get their security deposit. So let me mention security deposit. Security deposit, normally when someone rents your property, would take a 1 month's rent or an agreed amount that they keep. So when they move out, we'll check the property and see if everything is all right. If something is fault, then part of the security deposit will be used to fix it. So we do that bit. We rent it. We could do your property management for you. That is cleaning, changing sheets, and all of that. And then we have the facility management that we do. We're going to have a concierge service there. We're providing 24-hour security, and you pay your service charge. And the service charge is used to manage the communal area. So I mentioned earlier in my presentation that we have commercial properties that we manage, and these commercial properties have multinational companies as tenants, and we manage it very well. And we're going to bring that expertise here and more of that to make sure that the property is well managed, and going to form a homeowners association as well. And then the service charge is also paid, and then the property is managed very well, because at the end of the day, if you buy all this beautiful stuff and you do not manage it well, you're not going to get anybody renting it.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, and then we also have a sinking fund that we're going to, when the buyers form the homeowners association, we're going to form, there's going to be a sinking fund that homeowners will have to pay an amount annually into it, and that is used to do major works, or you could call it the major works fund. So as years goes and the lift breaks down after 10 years or anything, there'll be funds there that is being managed by the property management company, and then part of the homeowners association, and that is used to make sure that the place is always in good condition. So yes, we'll be providing facility management for, and we know it's very important when it comes to rental.
Got it. No, thank you for that context and that clarity. Another question we just got, a general question, I guess, maybe based on the times we're in now, and obviously we don't forget that COVID is around, and I guess still sort of a part of our lives. And so, a question for you, Edward, maybe might be in terms of Is it the right time to get a mortgage? Is this the time to get a mortgage? Just one question for you.
Yeah, okay. So I would say generally, it's always the best time to do real estate investment is when the market is low, and that is when is the best price to buy. And even from Cynthia's presentation, the best time to buy from them is during the construction period. The moment the construction is completed, you obviously will not get the same prices that they are advertising now. So this is the best time to buy, and it is the best time to take a mortgage to own it, because the moment there's a turnaround in the economy, these property prices will go up, and you will not get them at the prices at which they are selling them now.
100%, and that makes sense.
So I want to add to what Edward just mentioned. So when you buying, as he mentioned, off plan is always less expensive because the buyer is taking a risk of giving the developer their money instead of putting it at the bank. So off plan prices are more discounted. Once the construction hits and starts running, prices go up. So even for the signature, when we started, we're selling, and this is very competitive, we're selling at $2,500 per square meter. And then as we moved on, the structure is up, just as I showed you. Now we're selling at $2,700. We started the interiors, and it's going to go up to $3,000. And by the time the building is ready, you might be selling at $3,500 per square meter. So as he's saying, this is a very good time to buy, because if you multiply it per square meter based on what you buy, you realize that you could be paying about $50,000 or $20,000 or even $100,000 more. So it's always important to buy it now. Speak to the mortgage company, get it fixed, and when the building is ready, your price doesn't change. You still pay the amount that was sold to you in the beginning. So it's always the right time.
Got it. So I will look to sort of button up this event and sort of close it off. A final question and maybe just a final remarks on the luxury property market, especially in the context of the year of return, which was very positive for Ghana in 2019, and sort of maybe the tourism market, and even now beyond the return, which is what the government is looking to sort of really push in 2020. What is your sense? What do you think is the future of the property market in Ghana?
Sorry, you're breaking.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay.
If you can, we missed you for most part of it.
I'll start again. Right. So I was saying, just in the context of the year of return, and now beyond the return, which the government is pushing in 2020, what is your general sense of the future of the luxury property market in Ghana, with respect to more tourists coming in and maybe more business coming in as well, maybe predominantly African American or diaspora audience as well? What is your sense of that as a final remark? I don't know if you're hearing me. Oh, what's going on? Hello, are you hearing me?
Hi.
Oh, you can't hear me, right?
The last bit where you were asking your question.
So I was saying, what is your general sense of the future of the luxury property market in Ghana, based on the year of return, and based on your sense of what the market was before and where it's going now? So Cynthia,
okay, great. So I think the year of return was good. I mean, for us, even though the signature wasn't ready as at that time, but the year of return gave people the opportunity to come to Africa, to come to Ghana especially, and most of the perceptions that people had about Ghana was debunked, who felt that we didn't have good roads, we didn't have most of the amenities that people are enjoying in the diaspora, but they came back and they realized that, oh, okay, I could get this in Ghana. So looking at that, for Capemay, we're running a campaign at the moment called Home at Home, because people came to Ghana hoping to come back. That's the whole idea of it, to get people to come back to Ghana. So we're running the Home at Home campaign to let them Ghanaians on, I'm going to get all these things and have a very comfortable life. Or even if I'm not coming to stay here for business in general.
Thank you for that. And I don't know if you agree on that as well.
Yeah, so maybe what I will also add is the year of return has actually upped our market in terms of investing in properties, especially in the area of Airbnb, where we've had a lot more people who come in and looking for places to live. And if you have a project like Signature, which happens to be in a very good location, then you are definitely sure that once you invest in such a property, you are going to have a very high occupancy rate to be able to service facility or to be able to pay for the property that you acquire.
So, that's a good point. The Airbnb is definitely tied with tourism, and its Signature really is best placed to fit that type of market, on the luxury side. Great. Thank you all for this time. Thank you for your time again. Thank you to the audience as well for your time and your questions. Maybe I'll leave a final remark from each of you just before we end this. Perhaps, Cynthia, a final remark from you just for the audience.
Okay, so I would want to end by saying the Signature is actually the best property investment you could look at in Ghana at the moment, and Capemay will be coming up with more amazing products. If you are interested in purchasing any of our properties, or you need any advice on properties, you could go to www.signaturegA.com. Contact us. A team member would contact you, take you through our brochure, answer all your questions, and will help you make a good investment decision. Thank you.
Thank you. Please, Edward.
Yes, so I will say that when it comes to property, as we've always been told and advised by professionals, that it's location, and Signature offers you that. It also offers you rental that if you are doing it as an investment property, you are guaranteed. So just go ahead, do it, and we are offer you a mortgage. You own one and be part of the owners within the Signature project.
Oh, great!
Thank you, Edward.
That's great endorsement from Edward.
Yeah.
Well. And again, thank you to everybody. Thank you to the panelists for your time. Thank you to the audience as well for your time and your questions. And as we've noted, we're all very reachable and we can all be reached very easily if you have any questions. The slides will be sent to you as well for your review. And we'll actually also be reaching out to each of the registrants as well to follow up with each of you to see if you have any questions as well. So again, thank you from the Seso Global team. Thank you to Edward and to Cynthia as well. Thank you to FNB and Capemay as well for your time. And I will allow everybody to go to their day now. Have a good day, and thank you again. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.